willkommen. That's all what I know in German, so I'll leave it there. And thank you for coming once again. A little bit of rephrasing on what Sean was saying, and I promise I'll make the presentation a little bit faster, but it really shows our group the quality of people that work with us, and I don't speak for myself, but I speak for the founders and the rest of our team, Joseph and Vince and the rest of us that work together in this. Osisko mining is not a casualty. I joined the group in 2011 with the intention of building a bigger company than what my grandfather built in 1952. I hope we can do it in the next 10 years, and I'm really encouraged to do it. In 2014, we almost lost the company after a kidnap, but subsequently to that, we were prepared with the last $10 million to recreate this together with our CEO, John Bursinski, who led the consolidation of 4 companies originally. And we took the company last year to almost $1 billion. Now we are around $500 million. We do have a district. This is not only one single deposit. This is a real district, and I will elaborate on that. And I hope you can follow me as fast as I am going to go to show you that what we have here is not only something real, but something that is one of the few cases where we can, and with the permission of Mr. Barnaby, where we don't care about what the gold price will be, because this will be a very efficient mine with very high grade, which will generate a lot of cash. So bear with me on the next couple of slides. Most important thing, in the beginning of May, first week of May, probably second, we will put our resource, the most important thing that we have been done in the last 2 years and a half since we started this. And we will put a PEA in June. And I think those should be the 2 catalysts. On the basis of the resource, I think it's important to mention that as we progressed, we discovered a new area called links, which will be part of the resource, but will not be covered in its extent. In fact, by the end of March, we handle all the resource information, and it will be based on that. This Sean already covered, so it's just to show that the group itself and the group of people that works with the group of Osisko mining companies have done an exceptional job. Our share price has been going up and then down, following a little bit of the trend of gold, and hopefully we have some hope on it going up, but in any case it will go up because the fundamental value is there, and that's the most important thing. Another important thing is that we have cash. We have around $160 million in our bank account. Our company is right now essentially market cap $500 million. And we have other 2 projects where we have around 2 million ounces. If we think about that, those 2 projects can easily be monetized for $100 million each, plus $150 million. We're not giving any value to Windfall. And let me tell you what Windfall is. Windfall is a full district. We have the main deposit right in here where Windfall is, and links. And the previous resource when we bought this property was 1.6 million ounces of roughly 8 grams. We staked all this ground in November 2014. So that was almost 7 months before we bought this company. So all this is not a coincidence. It was prepared. So we staked all this ground based on bimodal volcanism, and now we're in the process of demonstrating that this is much bigger than what we thought at that moment. We already came up with a discovery at Black Fox, and we already put results at Fox. The problem is that we have so many results that people sometimes cannot follow where they are. But we do have here around 100,000 ounces that were non-NI 43-101 and good results on Black Dog. We do have here a hole of 11 grams and 3.6 grams, 11 meters of 3.6 grams at Fox, and we'll continue to drill that. And there is a historical resource here at Windfall and Links. Bear in mind one thing, this is 30 kilometers. What we have here is around 300,000 hectares. This is really like getting into the Timmins camp, first one there, 1900s, and stake it all. All what has been produced in Canada in the Timmins camp, you have it here. I don't know if we will find as much, but I can tell you that we have the ground and all what we need in the same strike where we believe there is a break. This is to show the analogous. And again, we have right in here in the first 11,000 hectares where Windfall is, Fox is, Lynx is, and where we have a historical resource of 1.6 million ounces of plus 8 grams. when we arrived at Windfall, the first thing we saw was this. There were many comments about this being discontinuous, about this not holding together. The fact of the matter is this is a total different deposit of what we're used to see in the Timmins camp, in Val-d'Or, in Canada. This is a Pluton-related deposit. This is not shear-hosted veins. Therefore, we have to treat this as if these are fingers, or as we like to call it, the hand of God, where we are just seeing the fingers, and we don't know how big this can be. So subsequently to this, and remember, in this, we had 1.5 million ounces as just in here, 100,000 ounces historically from the previous company. This is what we have drilled and what we have found. And this is where we have the resource. And none of this is included in the next resource. In the resource that you're going to see in May, none of this is included. It will be pretty important. And we are very confident of what we have. Of course, I cannot disclose it because I will ruin the story. But I can tell you that we feel very comfortable that it will be increased what we had before. Another important event was that there was a ramp that was done into a deposit that never hit the actual mineralization. We were so fortunate because luck just followed people that work hard, that the ramp finished in the middle between Lynx and the main deposit. So now we are ramping it down. By December, we probably will be in here, and we are continuing right now. I think we're somewhere in here, getting into the main zone, and we are right now applying for all sorts of permits to finish the ramp. Very important, we have been finding new areas, which we have been calling Lynx 6, Lynx 5, Lynx 3, Lynx 2, Lynx 1 in here, and this is part of the same trend. And this is a very important and very mature thing, is once you define the trend, it really, the job is now to follow the trend, drilling just very consistent and very systematic. This might not be done at this point by a geologist, and we will still find gold. And that's the importance of this. So it's a matter of following the trend and keep finding more ounces. What we have just drilled is this portion in here, which is not more than 5 kilometers here. This is around 3.4 kilometers. So we're continuing to drill here in the extension, and we're continuing to drill here in this side. What I mentioned before about Fox is somewhere in here. And what I mentioned about Black Dog is somewhere down in here. So we have quite a bit amount. Another important thing shows the deepness of the group. We work with what was the previous exploration team from Anglo-Gold Ashanti in the Andes. And we applied some of those concepts of porphyries into the Canadian story, which was a little bit odd for some people, but we proved that it was true in the sense that the intrusives have been well described by Dr. Ruben Padilla, and today we are actually believing that there are more intrusives towards the northeast, which we now have to prove. This is the concept. The concept is that we have different phases of intrusions, some late intrusions crossing it, and the mineralization occurs within the intrusion and where we have both intrusions together. Another important thing is in 2016, we bought the team from Virginia, from Osisko Gold Royalties, Mathieu Savard and his team, which worked with Andre Gaumont for many years, a real gentleman. And Mathieu Savard and his team applied different technologies to distinguish the exact composition of the porphyries. And it was well done. Everyone uses a niton gun, and it is in every single sample that we use it to define what specific intrusion we have there. And in order to do that, we use titanium and zircon. And with that, we can distinguish the different phases of the intrusives, which is a very, very important thing. We have been very systematic, so now we can distinguish things very fast. What we have accomplished as well with that same team is doing a little bit of regional exploration. At this point, we have over 130 targets in the area. What Windfall is just this. So we have many areas where we are going to continue to explore and continue to show the potential of what we have. We don't believe that what we have right now is all what we're going to get. This probably will be a much larger project for many decades, probably. We have a clear idea of what we intend to do in terms of timing. As I mentioned before, we will put our resource in May. We will have our PEA in June. We will be working on feasibility for 2019. Permitting, we hope we can get in 2019, if not a little bit further, and construction. We are already underground, so all the ramp is already going in there. This is a little bit of a scope of what we have in there. Let me close by saying that, first of all, our team and myself feel very proud to work with Sean and the team, especially with Vince and Joseph and the rest of the group of Osisko. We do believe that this is a real venture of a group of people that are doing their best. I'm sorry John was not able to present this. I hope I can do it like half of how good he does it. But it's a real pleasure to have him as a CEO, and I think really what we have is something very important, and our family office has been buying this. We do believe in the idea of management owning what we talk about. Thank you.